Hello, beautiful person, and welcome to the adventures of Mad Mav. In this episode, I'm going to take you on a walkthrough of the rig because I want to know from you, do you think I'll be able to survive the Canadian winter in this thing? In this video, there's going to be a bunch of updates because the plan has changed.
Go figure.
So the original plan was that I was going to bring the rig and utility trailer and do the conversion before I went out west, but because of time and budgetary constraints, I wasn't able to get the trailer done in time, and so I decided I was just going to take the truck. But the problem was, once I got the truck situated, and that's why I built that storage box up top there, was so that I could bring everything I needed without the trailer. I had a generator up there, cooler, storage boxes, all kinds of stuff. But as I loaded the truck up, I quickly realized it's going to be way overloaded. Even without all the extra fluids that I needed, like extra gasoline for the generator, extra propane, a full tank of gas, it was right on the limit of its legal rating for gross vehicle weight. And so I've had to rethink this. So my choices are bring the trailer as a base camp to store stuff in and tour around once I get out to BC, or think about different ways that I can really lighten the load in this thing and just take the truck itself. I'm going to be altering it. I'm going to chop that top box down probably a foot because I still want the storage space, but I don't need the height. It creates a lot of wind resistance, as you can imagine. I'm also going to do some weight reduction in the back. I'm going to redo the bed, which you'll see shortly. Create better storage, take less stuff than I was going to take. You know, I've got a problem with hoarding. If you've seen any previous videos, and I'm going to do a whole video on my hoarding problem. That whole container over there is part of my hoarding problem, but that creates a whole bunch of other problems because it reduces all the luxuries that I wanted to bring, and it's going to make it a little rougher, which makes surviving the winter in this thing a little bit more precarious. But yeah, what we're going to do is do a walkthrough of this. I'm going to show you how I've winterized it. And I want to know from you in the comments, do you think I'm going to be able to survive the Canadian winter in this thing like I've got it? I hope so, I think so, but we'll see. You decide. So I started with this 2018 F150 Sport 4x4. And then I added this Lear contractor's cap that I got on Kijiji for $500. Before I could do anything, I had to take it off and cut out the back supports so that the cap would fit onto the truck with the tailgate closed. It's designed to be on the truck without the tailgate. And while it was down, I took the opportunity to caulk all the seams in the aluminum. Then I had to fit it back on to fit exactly between the sides of the bed and the tailgate opening where the doors drop down. I started with a skeleton of a shell. Then I cut pieces of this Durospan foam insulation to fit exactly into the gaps in the skeleton. It was really easy to do. It turned out great. And then with the help of my buddy Steve, who's probably my biggest supporter, we added this top platform, both so that I could have extra protection against the elements, to store stuff up there, and to use as an observation deck for videos and flying the drone. And so it didn't look like a radar dish, I added these rails on top that I can also use as tie downs. Then I sealed all the gaps between the plywood with caulking and super heavy duty monster tape to seal everything before I put the top coating on. And I added an electrical inlet so that I can have shore power wherever there's access. And started to add the inner plywood and cut out the portals so that I've got a view and some ventilation. Man, these things were a pain to put in, and I'm going to have a full episode on these, but they were worth it. And way less expensive than sliding windows. Then I added a first version of my shelving unit so I can start to move in. Sealed everything up with some heavy-duty caulking. Put a marine coating on the top. Built the storage box and reinforcements for the platform. Put door seals all around the back doors. And she was done. It was a lot of hard work and there's more to go, but I'm really happy with the way it's turned out so far. Now let me take you on a walkthrough through the inside and let me show you its features. Ha ha ha! Okay, so this is my bathroom slash heating system slash hot plate, which I'll show you how this all works. And please excuse the intimate, private parts of my abode, but here we go. So, this is called a luggable loo, and you can get these at Canadian Tire. This is basically a toilet seat on a bucket, and it works awesome. The seat keeps the odors in, but I tend to keep it outside most of the time. This heater is just a simple camping heater that normally hooks up to one of the little green canisters, little green propane canisters, but I got an adapter so that I can plug it right into the main propane tank. And yes, I know you're not supposed to put your propane tank inside the vehicle, but I have no choice right now. So until I get this figured out a better way, and I'm very cautious with this all the time. I've got my carbon monoxide sensor in here. I'm gonna put another one right here, but for now, this works perfect. And how this works is, when this is on, just flip this back and there's no heat here. I know it looks like there would be, but basically the heat just comes straight up off this thing and radiates out forward. Obviously this is a little close here. It actually isn't, it barely gets warm, but anything can happen and you might as well be safe. So what I've done is I've built this barrier, okay, that actually just fits right in here like this when I'm traveling. And then the toilet's in there. But at night what I do is to block the cold air that might come through the crack in the door here, this actually just slides back here, and that way it provides protection for the bed. Nothing can fall off the bed into the heater, and yeah, it works really well. Okay, and this is just a simple piece of aluminum that I got some rubber edging for, and it works great. You would think this little thing is not going to heat this. It heats it up too much. The problem is I gotta keep getting up and shutting it off. It's good for like till minus 15 Celsius. When I've got that shield up, I can actually pull this grate out, and I put this piece on here so that it can fit at the same level as this other piece here. But now I've got a hot plate sort of thing, where I just put my kettle on the grill overnight, and when I wake up in the morning, it is on the edge of boiling.
Oh, that smells really good.
So before we go, there's a few other features that are really cool that I wanted to show you. This is not just a board here so that nothing falls out while we're moving. This is actually going to be a desktop as well. So I'm going to be putting hinges here to hold it like this, so and a base along here so that I can bring my computer out and actually work on my computer from the bed. Oh, how you doing? And the other thing is, you might have noticed in the kitchen, there's very little prep space. What I'm going to be doing is adding a folding tabletop here that comes down so that I've got a little prep space here. But what I did add was this little slide out table here so that I have some prep space for while I'm cooking and a place to eat as well. So while I'm eating, you know, I put my phones here and I watch Man City Van Life and a few of my other favorite YouTubers and some Formula One stuff and enjoy my meal. This is very handy. This is obviously temporary for now, just so that I can figure all this out, but this is extremely handy. Cool. So what do you think? Any ideas, suggestions, insults, or questions? Please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll answer anything positive. Stay happy and well, beautiful person.